Okay. Where are we?
We are in my garage. We are in my garage.
Review this bed rack. It is the RCI Universal 12-inch bed rack. Miles and I have done a couple of overnight adventures. Starting last year, we went to Fremont Lookout and we went to Tolmy Peak, and I had a lot of fun. Did you?
Yes.
It was so much fun that I started to get serious about it. Being able to drive out the night before, camp where you park, and then hit the trails early in the morning provides game-changing capability to the mountaineering lifestyle. Would you agree?
Uh-huh.
Game-changing.
Why did you pick this bed rack?
Let's see. So I researched this one a long time before I made a decision. I wanted a low-profile rack because I don't like the cab height ones, and I don't like the way they look, and I don't put enough stuff under here to warrant getting one, even if I didn't like the way it looked. Generator, refrigerator, washer and dryer, all the stuff that people put in their overlanding gears. I don't do that. I do boxes. The first one I looked at was the tough stuff. I actually put it on my Amazon shopping list just because I didn't really know much about bed racks at the time. But that one is tubular and does not have very much in the way of mounting capabilities. I then had my sights set on the Wilco low-profile bed rack, which looks pretty good. It has the benefit of these cross beams being removable easily, so you can use the bed more like a traditional truck bed when you have it on. But I emailed them for information about the bed rack, hoping they could maybe do a video on it, and they never contacted me again, so I never really pursued Wilco any further. I also like the Max Modular rack, and I almost went with that one, but it only has 2 support beams, has one in the back and one in the front, and costs a little more. Then I saw the RCI rack in person, and I got cozy to it pretty quickly. It's more than strong enough for my usage. It holds, they rate it at 750 pounds static load. And if you check their website, they'll say that they've actually tested it to 1,500 pounds and it worked just fine, but they're only going to advertise it at 750 pounds.
Wow, that's kind of dumb.
Well, it's anything that's listed a certain strength is usually safer at a higher weight, but ultimately they don't want to leave themselves open to liability. People just stacking on a ton of weight on here. So 750 pounds listed weight, just fine for my purposes. The RCI rack has a good potential mounting solution for all the off-roady, overlandy lifestyle bling that people put on these things. And honestly, it just looks disgusting. It's awesome. I love it. Assuming we go to Overland Rally, this thing's gonna be snapping necks.
What is the setup like?
Setup was not difficult, but the instructions were so limited that I essentially ignored them. Fortunately, RCI only uses one size bolt, so you can't go wrong with the sizes. So nuts, washers, lock washers, bolts, they're all the same size. It's pretty self-explanatory. I started by fixing the first 2 struts and this cross beam right here. These were done pretty loosely at first, and once I had everything flushed up.
You know how to tell if it's loose? That didn't work.
It's not going to work. I had this flush up as far as it would go in the bed, and then had these tightened on pretty loosely, but tighten those C-clamps down pretty good to give me a good head start. For the second cross beam and struts, I assembled them upside down on the table in the garage, and once they were loosely but tightly enough to move assembled, I put them on the rack. After that was done, I put the side beams on here just to get the spacing correct on everything, and then I tightened those up. And once this was in place and tightened up, I tightened up these C-clamps. These were all still only finger tight. After that, I assembled a third cross beam and struts on the table, put that one on, affixed it to the side beams for spacing, tightened up the C-clamps. After that, I put the cross beam up top and tightened them up on those 3 points to make sure that these cross beams were aligned. And once those were tightened, I went through and tightened all the support beams starting from the back going up front. RCI did not provide a torque spec, so I didn't even unsheath the torque wrench. I just went tight, got them pretty snug on there. I used Loctites on the threads of all the bolts that I installed, in addition to the locking washers that RCI provided. After a few months, I'll inspect them to see if they moved or not, but they're in there pretty solid. And that was the install.
Oh my.
I know, right? Wind's picking up.
What are some of the pros?
Some of the pros. Plenty of room under the rack for the things I'm going to put under it. I've got 2 storage bins I bring for camping stuff and food, cooking. Got a 7-gallon water jug. I got Miles' Ender Dragon. If Miles and I are doing a bike trek, our bikes will fit under here.
Wow.
If I have to really haul something, if I have to move a couch or something, then unfortunately the C-clamps are going to have to come off. One of the pros is you look awesome doing a lifestyle flex through the neighborhood. Snapping necks. I like the low profile racks, and this one's nice and low. It's only 12 inches. Gives me enough room. Potentially put stuff on the side, but keeps the tent nice and low, about cab height.
What are the cons? Probably because if you want to keep a high profile,
You're totally just making this up. Alright, I don't want to keep a high profile. The cons are, like all racks, there's no universal mounting standard. So whatever you want to hang off the side here, you got to come up with your own solution for it. The side panels, the top and bottom slits, look like they're cut in size for the Rotopaxes, which I don't have any of, but at some point I will, and I'll test them out. Definitely not cut out for the X-Bulls. The X-Bulls have holes that are just too wide for these beams at all, so I'm going to have to come up with another solution to get them on there. The mounting hardware is not black. It's zinc coated and nice and shiny, so I just spray painted them black. We'll see how that does in the Washington weather. I'm guessing it's not going to last that long. Finally, the C-clamps are not perfect. There's 6 of them on here. I would guess that no 2 are the same. They're all done just a little bit differently on it, just a little bit differently from the other. And I don't want to drill holes into this truck. This truck is not cheap, so I'm not about to drill holes into it.
Plus, it's the rub.
We live in a fallen world. You gotta make do with what you have. So here they are. They're on there solid. The rack's not going anywhere. Just I notice it. So in conclusion,
In conclusion,
these are just initial thoughts. I like it so far. Can't wait to test it out. Right now everything's shut down. All sites, you're not technically allowed to go anywhere or do anything right now. Even though I don't think a single person has contracted COVID-19 by hiking or climbing a mountain. We're not allowed to do it. So we're going to shelter in. The next week or 2, I'll put up a video of getting the tent on here, seeing what that's like.
they shut down the Overland Rally. We riot.
Expect more to come on this rack because I really look forward to using it and put it through its paces. Alright, dude. That's all I got.
Alright, I have a few last words.
Little
Spartans never die. They're just missing in action.
Alright, you ready to go home?
We are at home.
Yeah, we're out.
How did I get here? Everything's unclear. I never meant to cause you pain.
Wait, why don't we cut the necks off with my energy sword instead?
Snapping necks means when you're driving by people.